Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday, 7
It's
o'clock. Time
Wednesday
for
again.
Life.
I don't
It
know how
is.
we got here. Like the time just
I
flew,
know. 2 weeks
and yet it
seemed
didn't.
really
I was
2 weeks seemed really
yeah,
long and then really short.
and really short. But I
Yeah.
was just saying to you at the front of the before we went on the air. I feel like I've been gone for like weeks, and I haven't. I've only been gone
All
for
right.
well, we had 2 weeks off. We had 2 weeks off.
We have been gone from this for weeks, yes. I know what you mean, from home. And it was
I
only
should
what,
put
4 or
a
5 days?
Facebook post. Everybody forgot we existed. 2 weeks
There's
and they
three
forgot
people.
we existed.
There's 3 people watching. I don't know who
There's
they
three
are because
people
they're not
watching.
commenting.
One of them's me, so
So one of them's you. You don't need to
one of them's me.
watch
I always
yourself.
turn it on the other channel.
All right. So there's 2 people who are not commenting. Anyway, welcome now there's another one just kicked in. Somebody thumbs up. So with this week we decided to just kind of keep it easy. We're going to go over Trekonderoga and if anybody's really interested, Star Trek Las Vegas.
Star Trek. I'm interested. It looked good.
It was a pretty good event.
There's
So yep. There's some people. Hey, how you doing? So I think you got some news, correct?
I only have the smallest little bit of news, but I would like to hear your thoughts on it. Sorry, here we go. Dave Bautista, we already discussed that they are going to remake or reboot the Highlander. They've cast now David Bautista, that's Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, as the Kurgan. And he will be starring opposite Henry Cavill and someone else whose name Russell Crowe. I don't know, Rizzo. What do you think? Do we need more Highlander? Do we need a reboot with Highlander? I think the old Highlander is pretty good.
The original Highlander is good. Highlander 2, Dave Lafredo, if you're watching, is not good. I don't care about surfboards and laser swords or whatever.
He loves that. He loves
it. He does love it. He will
defend it. We need to have him on.
Maybe if Sci-Fi Distill falls on April 1st, one of these times around, we'll put him on for that as a joke.
We have a couple people who love stuff that you hate. I think we should just have like defending your life, defending
There's the whole
thing. Stuff that Rizzo hates.
The whole show, movies that Rizzo hates.
A whole show, movies.
Hate is a really strong word. I don't even think about it. This was a bad movie.
What is it about Highlander 2 that so offends you?
It's not offensive. It's just a bad movie. It's just bad. It's just ridiculous. It didn't hold to the original idea. Apparently, the whole point of the end of the Highlander was that he whatever. So what? We're resetting the whole thing with new I don't know, what were they called? I even forgot. The ones because they live forever.
The quickening.
The quickening happening, and they it start over again. Anyway,
whatever.
That aside, I don't know why we need to remake stuff that was already good and relatively recent. Although I guess 30 plus years ago was.
I mean, the TV show is
40,
more
right?
recent. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the original movie is probably pushing. It's got to be close to 40 years, right? Anyway, the cast is good. I think Cavill is a good. I assume he is the Highlander.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Russell Crowe is gonna be.
Sean Connery.
What's his name? Sean Connery. The Spaniard.
The
Highlander is.
The cast is good. Although I don't know, Russell Crowe's kind of getting a little out.
2026 will be 40 years.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it'll make some money. Will it be as big? I don't know. It just, again, can we come up with new stuff instead of keep going back to the well? That's
back to the well.
The well is getting. It's like mud at the bottom now. They're scraping it so hard. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just like come up with something new. It's not just movies, TV, same thing. Oh, we're going to reboot this. We're going to reboot this. This was popular 40 years ago. Let's try it again.
New stuff is so risky, though. It's a love-hate with the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
You were saying, I just wanted this. You were saying, what was it, Armin or one of those? They were saying that they'd watched Voyager and they'd say, this script looks really familiar because we already did it. They were even rehashing stories within Star Trek. So
Star Trek gonna Star Trek. You use the same writers for stuff. You're gonna get the same stories.
I guess they run out of ideas.
Hi Sue. Hi Jeff Rubel.
All right. So what
Hi,
other news was there? That was one thing.
In other casting news, Matt Smith, who we best know as Doctor Who, we also know from House of Dragon, has been cast as the villain in Star Wars Starfighter opposite Ryan Gosling. This thing is not due to theaters until May of 2027, but they'll start working on this thing. They're probably going to get going on this thing pretty quick now that they've got people cast. I love Matt Smith. I don't know how he's going to be in Star Wars, but we'll see.
I don't, Disney has a really bad reputation of big announcement and then it disappears.
Sounds like somebody else we know.
So, yeah. But I mean, this is they've announced so many big projects. We were supposed to see Rogue Squadron. We were supposed to see, name a movie. They were going to do a lot of stuff. They announce, and it's going to be they do a Comic-Con announcement, and then it just dies on the vine somewhere. So until I see an actual trailer or something that they actually make in this thing, we'll see. Could be good.
We'll see.
I mean,
it'll be all right. All right, Fallout Season 1, so good. Can they keep it going? Season 2 trailer is out now. If you give me a minute, I will find it and drop it into the chat, a YouTube link to the trailer. I'm excited to see Fallout Season 2. I really enjoyed Fallout Season 1, and I never played the game.
Yeah, so clearly, as if we saw the tease at the end of Season 1 of New Vegas, which is New Vegas was actually kind of almost like it really was more than a DLC. It was its own game, but based on Fallout 3, so it used the same engine and everything. And many people believe that Fallout New Vegas was better than Fallout 3 as a game, and even better than Fallout 4, which I really loved, and I'm a big Fallout 76 fan, which I know is very controversial. We won't go into that. Clearly in the trailer they're going to New Vegas, so I think that's going to be huge for the fans. I think Season 1, I think they did a really good job of fan service, keeping it to the games, and keeping the hardcore people. I mean, there were people complaining, and there were some issues about timeline, with the war and stuff and when things happen. But I mean, those were really minor. I think for the most part, they did a really good job of capturing the game's quirkiness.
Yes.
And it's kind of, there's like a comedy to it in a sense, but it's like, very serious. So there's there's definitely moments. Yeah, it's very interesting, and they captured that in the TV show, I think, really well, where there's this kind of goofy silliness, absurdity to it, and then kind of a seriousness, because we are in a very dystopian world. It's just that the dystopian world is kind of even more bizarre than the real world. It's kind of like the way they did. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to come out December. Is that what they said?
I don't know. I can look for that and put it in the chat. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for that to come out. And finally tonight, for reasons that nobody can understand, Strange New World Season 3 has debuted with stronger streaming numbers than Season 2. Why? Why, people?
I have no idea.
Maybe we're just cynical.
It clearly, yeah. I mean, it's probably the most popular. Well, I wouldn't say it's the most popular, because I don't know how it stood up numbers wise to like Lower Decks, but I'm starting to feel it's definitely got a more popular following than Discovery did. And these are just my feelings. I have no numbers to back this up. But yeah, I'm guessing it's just not our generation Star Trek. It's just not.
But someone loves it.
Somebody likes it. I know people that like it, that really like it. And I have a friend of mine, he's my age, my best buddy from high school, and he's like, "Oh, I like it, but I'm not as much into Star Trek as you are." Like, so he doesn't give a shit about canon violations, so to speak. He just watches the show for what it is. So maybe that's our problem, is that we're trying to hold it to a standard that a different standard can't be held. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean,
it's not Discovery bad. No, it's
Let's
not
put it that
Discovery
way. I
Panel.
mean, there's a gauge here, and
But it's not prequel to TOS. It's just not.
it's clearly it's Disco Mirror Universe or whatever you want to call it, or Parallel Universe. It's I don't care what you say, I don't care what Paramount says. Disco was its own universe. It was not Prime, TOS, whatever universe.
So just if
Just
you
like
guys are
JJ
curious,
Trek was a different timeline. This is a
exactly,
different universe entirely. This isn't even a different timeline. This is a different
exactly,
universe, like the Mirror Universe is different.
yeah. So the Nielsen Top 10 USA Original Streaming Program chart for the week of July 14 to 20. So this is back in July now. Was just released today or yesterday. It includes Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Hegemony Part 2. No, Hegemony. Sorry. Hegemony Part 2 and Wedding Bell. Yeah. Wedding Bell Blues dropped on July 17 and it ranked number 7 with 471 million minutes viewed, which is a new record for this series. Will it keep it up like that the whole rest of the season? I don't think so. But I mean, it beat out the Sandman, and I thought the Sandman was doing good.
Yeah, I don't know.
It came in right behind Squid Game and The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the new Strange New World stuff, I mean, Pike is like not there hardly. He's hardly there as a captain.
He's in the background all the time, just in the background making faces.
They can't write Spock for shit. I mean, Spock is now like some kind of love-struck teenager or something that he's like falling for whatever girl is in front of him. He's not Vulcan at all. Yeah. I know they're trying to say, "Oh, this is young Spock," and I'm like, but he's only like a few years away from the cage. I mean, the menagerie Spock.
Yeah, we're coming up quick.
We're not. I mean, they said this was 13 years ago. Remember, we're already past the cage in the timeline of this. So we're less than 10 years, let's say, from. So he's not that big a difference, And remember,
he's going to evolve.
He's a lot older than he appears because Vulcans age slower. So he's probably like at this point, he's in his 50s.
One would think, yeah. And acting like he's in his 20s because he's acting
like he's a teenager. Yeah.
Dancing and giggling and doing fun Spock-like stuff.
They don't understand how to write Spock. And he's not really that complicated a character.
They will never again. You're right. They will never again capture the Kirk, Spock, McCoy triangle and the way those three characters created balance with each other. They were each other's counterparts, a three-way.
They brought balance to the Force.
Martin Bend is asking, what's this news about a President Archer series? And Rizzo, since you were at Star Trek Las Vegas with Scott Bakula.
That is just what it is. It is just an idea that the original producer of Enterprise came up with to pitch as an idea to bring back Archer as the president of the Federation and do a show basically somehow based on that. That was really it. It was just a treatment, I believe, at most. So there is I'd like to see Bakula back on Star Trek as Archer. I am a big Enterprise fan. So yeah, that's all I know. That there's no plans to make it or anything. He just pitched it, and probably Paramount, no matter how great an idea it is, they won't do it because it wasn't their idea. So I mean, there was still a group at Star Trek Las Vegas trying to push Legacy. They actually paid to have a table, and I'm like, it's not going to happen.
I don't know. We all said Pike wouldn't happen, and we got Pike.
Yeah, but they
we don't like it. We don't like it.
This one, I don't.
Now that we got it, we hate it. But
I mean, you never know. I mean, if Starfleet Academy tanks, and I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Joel. Oh my God, Joel.
Yeah, no, Joel, you're right. Spock did not have.
Oh, Joel.
Because she was. You know why? Because she was 12 apparently when they got engaged. Didn't you remember the picture he held up?
It was a child.
He's like a 12-year-old girl.
They're both children. So,
Uh,
do you want? We have Ken Schmidt, Joel Barnes, and Dr. Alexander in our audience tonight, all of whom were at Trekonderoga. Do we want to start with the Trekonderoga review, or do you want to give us a quick highlight of Star Trek Las Vegas first?
and just to answer Sue's question about bringing Porthos back,
Oh, Porthos.
that would be one damn old dog. Because I mean, I know it's
If
modern
by the time he's
technology,
president,
but by the
I
time
think
he's president, I'm
Porthos.
guessing Portho has gone over the Rainbow Bridge by this point. But
I would
maybe he has
think
another beagle.
I mean, it's
Named
space
after a
dog, future
different-
dog. Maybe they live really long lives, but
Yeah, maybe he
maybe
has
he'll
a
move on
dog
to a
now.
Jack Russell Terrier.
No, he's got to stay a beagle, but it's going to be named D'Artagnan this time or something. So,
No, Artemis.
why Artemis?
I don't know.
Well, the original dog was named after one of the Three Musketeers. That's why.
Oh, Porthos, Athos, and D'Artagnan.
Porthos, yes, D'Artagnan.
Porthos.
Anyway, we can start with Trekonderoga. Sure, why not? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not like we have a program here we have to stick to.
No, Aramis. Yeah, I knew it was Athos, Porthos, Athos, Aramis. Aramis. I get them mixed up. Okay.
Whatever. Artemis is the spaceship.
Artemis is the ting goddess.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Trekonderoga happened last week. We had Kate Welgrew and Nana Visitor and Terry Farrell
and Kira and Quark and Dax,
yeah, we had Armin Shimmerman, and
who was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. He is such a nice man. I think they were all great, and Joel and I were kind of lucky enough we got to pick up Nana and Terry and Kate at the airport, and I know Roy picked up Armin,
yeah.
So we got to chat a little bit in the car, which was nice with them. Yeah, it was. I think it was a pretty good event. I mean, we only how many people would we have? About 350, I think, by the end.
350-ish, yeah.
Yeah. So not a huge event, but
actually, yeah, we walked in.
It seemed like more people. I don't know. There were times at the school where it was like it seemed really crowded.
Yeah, we walked in. If it was full, that's about 400. We walked in with 364 who had purchased online, and we got quite a number of walk-ups. So we might have been pushing 400.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I didn't get a chance to go to a lot of the talks, unfortunately. I see people seem to be happy with them. Yeah, I didn't hear any complaining. You saw every once in a while, they see I have the set tour shirt on, and they'll pull you aside and go, and you kind of whine in your ear about whatever, the heat, you pick something, Yeah. But I didn't get any of that this time. Most people seemed really in good mood, even with the heat. I was surprised how many people hung around the school, even after the vendors were closed, to do the cosplay.
Yes.
And and even if there was a handful of people still there for that little concert thing. So, I mean, if it was me, that heat, I don't know. I was surprised, but there were people hung around. So, cosplay was better attended than I really thought, especially being at 6 o'clock at night on a Saturday with like nothing else going on at that school. So that was fun. We had some people show up. We had Darth Vader show up.
We did. I gave Darth Vader a tour.
Came dressed as Darth Vader. So we welcomed him because, we don't exclude people for their IP.
It's a big universe. All are well.
It's a big universe. So, yeah. So, I mean, it was overall good. I mean, it seemed like everything was going on well at the studio as well. I didn't do any tours. But
I did. I was desperate for a tour guide, and none were to be had. So I had to do it, which is always dangerous for those poor people. But Dr. Alexander was my my caboose, and so it worked out. It worked out really, really well. Yeah, the trains ran on time, which is a small miracle unto themselves. All the tours and chats one was a bit early, but other than that, they were all on time. Photos went super smoothly. Photo delivery and distribution went reasonably smoothly. Autographs went really smoothly. I know there were long lines, but no one complained or moaned or groaned, and they moved right along. And the feedback that I was getting is that for both photographs and autographs, the celebrities were super personable, took a few moments to just speak with the person, and didn't just be like, here's your autograph, go away. You know what I mean? They were super awesome with everybody, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, Armin, I was shocked, had I think, the longest line. Now, maybe I just caught it at the right time, but his line was by far longer than anybody else's, which I thought was amazing. I did get the chance because he had a second signing on Sunday, so I got a chance to talk to him, get a photo with him, and stuff like that. So he really is. He seems like a super guy. I hope James gets him back.
Yes.
At a following date. I think he would pull people. And I really, I keep saying, I really want to do that photo op with him serving drinks. What do you guys think? I thought that would be a great photo op. Would you pay?
We try to do it?
Not in makeup, because he won't. He doesn't really want to. Well, we asked him, would you do the makeup again? He's like, as long as you pay me.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of makeup. But I think even if it was just him at a bar, makeshift bar, we could dress it up, and him serving some kind of fancy mocktail thing.
Yeah.
I think I would pay for that picture. I don't know. I would, but I don't know. I'm not everybody.
I think it would be great fun. I would be very, very curious to have heard their opinions, because all those celebrities just came from Star Trek Las Vegas. And I would have been very curious to just say, hey, what kind of an event do you like better? The big ones like Vegas, or more of a smaller, intimate, personable one like this? What do you think? I would be curious.
I would bet they clearly must make more money in Las Vegas. I mean,
obviously,
if you're talking tens of thousands of people. I know Nana had a line every time I went by her table. I think Terry did too. Not a huge line, but there were people there. Was Armin there? I don't think Armin was there this year. Was he? I didn't see him if he was. I mean, you got to remember, Star Trek Las Vegas has, I don't know, like 100 actors. I mean, it's like crazy how many people are there.
And not just Star Trek actors too.
And then because STLV, I can't call it Star Trek Las Vegas, it's STLV.
It's STLV, yeah.
It is not licensed anymore by CBS Paramount. And I think that's why they started bringing in some of these extra guests that are Star Trek IP, excuse me. And I think the Treksperts do too, because the Treksperts brought in Sam Jones, Melanie Anderson from Flash Gordon, Barbara Bain, and Nick Tate from.
And they tried to bring in James Cawley, but that didn't work.
And Jennifer Helper from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes,
those were all Trekspert bring-ins.
Yes. Just so you guys are clear on this, Creation puts the event on, but then they hire the Treksperts and they give them the Trekspert stage, and the Treksperts. So Mark, Ashley, and Darren are responsible for the programming on that stage, and they need to keep it rolling. And it was like something like 35 talks over the course of
and they got smart this year. All of them were not, because last year all three of them were like on stage constantly with the interview.
Yeah, being the moderators and doing the interviewing.
So now they had other people. They got like Scott Mans to do an one. They got this person to do one. So they weren't over there, and then they rotated themselves through. I met Mark Altman for like 2 seconds. I don't know. I only saw him very briefly. Darren I saw a lot. I think I passed Ashley in the hallway, and that was all I ever saw of him. So I don't even know if he was there the whole time.
Ashley had his mini-me with him. Ashley has a son who looks exactly like
I didn't see that. He was walking alone when I saw him. So, and everybody's always in a hurry. Wherever you're going, you just go, at least with me. It's like
that's how I feel at Trekonderoga. I always have something time sensitive, like information I need to. And then immediately, right when I have something time sensitive, is when somebody grabs me and wants to burn my ear off with something.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
So, I mean, anyway. Are we transitioning to STLV?
No, we can keep bouncing back and forth between both. I just wanted to say, because I still have Trekonderoga peeps in the audience here. We debuted a couple new presenters. I think they went really well. We had all our usual faves. Dr. Alexander gave an excellent presentation about life on the space station. Roy did a presentation about Space 1999's 50th. And yeah, all in all, like, I got no bad feedback on anything. I mean, all our presentations are pretty low key. We don't do anything that's too super produced or anything, but it's just for fun. And we hope people can, kick back and just listen and maybe learn something, or maybe get a kick out of what we're talking about,
I sat on stage, I don't know how many people, because I was in that big auditorium, probably a little bigger than I needed, for sure.
Yes, how was your round table, which is just sci-fi distilled live?
Yeah, so usually I end up talking about Star Trek, the shows and different things, but people were asking a lot about the tour more than anything. Of course,
That's fine.
the standard questions come up that I know are going to come up when I say, "Does anybody have any questions?" Is when is TNG set going to be done? Where's the Galileo? Where's the Galileo with the top two? I don't have the exact answers for those.
Chris.
We always get the why is it up? Why is this here?
Why are we in Trekonderoga?
Yeah, that kind of thing. So I answer those best I can. And again, I always say that this is always the opinions of me and not the set tour or James Cawley. If there's an opinion, and I always say, don't ever take, because I'll say one thing and then James will come on stage and say something completely different. So it's like, this is as far as I know what I heard, and it's just that it's rumor. But yeah, I mean, those are a lot of questions, but there was other stuff. A lot about I got into a lot of stories about when celebrities came, whether it be George Takei or Nichelle or Eddie Paskey. I was telling a lot of those stories because those, I think, they're moving to people because all the reactions we always had, especially like Nichelle and Eddie, they had very emotional reactions to seeing those sets, which of course relates to us having an emotional reaction. And I think, even Bill, the first time he came, remember, you have to understand, Bill Shatner would never sit in a captain's chair at an event.
Yes.
And I think the reason was he didn't, I don't want to say he was rejecting the role, but I think he's like, looks at this crappy little chair, something somebody set up.
Saturday Night Live, get a life.
Yeah, again, and I think he just, and James will tell the story. It's like the first time he brought him on the bridge and he saw what we had built, and he said, I believe this is my chair. And he sat down in the chair, which is like, and now he will sign. I don't know if he only does it in Ticonderoga or if he'll do it other places now. He will sign William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Yeah.
He never used to do that.
Minor, he didn't used to do that. He's just called. Minor, unrelated. Armin asked not to sit in the chair. I believe he did for photos, but he asked not to. He was like, and it's out of sheer respect. His character was not a Starfleet officer, and it wasn't his show. And it was sheer respect on his part.
Said so much about him. I mean, that he felt that it was almost sacrilege for him to sit
in the chair. Yeah, so he paced. I believe he paced around circular, like around.
He finally did do it, but he didn't want to. He really didn't want to. Which brings me back to my other great idea. He should have been where he belongs, behind a bar.
At a bar. Yeah, you're right, Rizzo. You're right.
So anyway,
we're not Vegas. We don't have unlimited funds.
We are not Vegas. We could have come up with something. I guarantee you, if we had a day, I could have come up with something.
Yeah,
we had enough crap that we could have put something together that would have looked decent. Anyway, we'll save that for next time. Yeah. So but I mean, Eddie was crying. I remember B. Joe Trimble and John Trimble had emotional reactions. So that's kind of what I was talking about. That sort of thing. Just. Can't think of what else. It was just general. Before I knew it, the hour was up. So I think people were interested. They were. I think one person left.
Well, hey, if they're asking you questions, then that's.
I did not trash any modern Star Trek.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Although it was heading that way during cosplay.
Oh no! Tell me about
started cosplay. To. I didn't start it. But I was going to finish it. I did. As it was, who else was on? It was Bruce, I think Bruce got involved in it. I backed off because I didn't want it to turn into a thing. So, because somebody apparently very much liked the new stuff. So
good for them. You know what? There's Star Trek for everybody.
I always said if you like it, watch it. Knock yourself out. It's not for me. The new stuff just
Star Trek for everybody.
Watch what you dig. That's what
I do know that. Yeah, I do know that Bruce said there was like a little, not a love fest, but he was just speaking with the audience briefly. Nana and Terry had live on stage kind of back to back, and because Terry was coming from the studio, there was just a brief little 10-12 minutes in between them. So Bruce was just speaking with the audience. How many of you are first timers? Lots of hands went up. How many of you from out of the country, from other than America? A lot of hands going up. And what do you think? And they loved it. And one guy was like, you should make this bigger. And a whole bunch of other people were all like, no, keep it like this.
I think with Trekonderoga, that's the charm. It's the more intimate, which is why I think when you asked about whether the guests like it or not better, I'm sure they like it because they get to interact with the fans more, assuming that's what they like to do, and they're not there just to collect a check. Yeah, because if that's all they would have just stayed in Vegas, and they could probably make a lot more money. But Vegas, keep in mind, a lot of them in Vegas are paying for their own tables.
Are they really?
Some of them are invited, and I'm sure paid or whatever, and some of them are not.
Did not know that.
It depends. It depends on where you are on the food chain. I'm sure all the TNG people are paid, and probably anybody of the new stuff are paid. But I think like. Some of it was Voyager's 30th, so I'm sure they brought in. But I know like
the headliner,
Garrett Wang, I'm pretty sure he was paying for his table. People like Sandy Gimple, they pay for their table. Luna, all those people, they pay for their tables. I'm
desperately curious how that how if they're making their.
Well, I know. Yeah, I mean, I had that conversation years ago with Felix Silla. You remember him, Tweaky, and yeah. He came up to one of our Trekonderogas, super, super nice guy.
Super lovely man.
I got a chance to talk to him he was so nice. I talked to him for like probably close to an hour about just everything under the sun, from family to Star Trek to whatever. And, he said he's passed, unfortunately, but he lived in Las Vegas. That's where so he would say, like, even for him to go to Comic-Con, which is how many thousands of people, he wouldn't go because the cost of the table, the travel, the hotel, food, and everything, he just wasn't popular enough to make enough money, not only to cover his expenses, but actually make some money. He would do Vegas because he didn't have, all he had to do is pay for the table.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He lived there. You go home at night.
Wow, that's so interesting. That's so interesting.
So I mean, that's kind of what I think a lot of the older crowd, like you say, those one-off guests that were on original series, Michael Dante and all those guys, they're there. They're there, but I guarantee you they're paying for those tables. They're not. They maybe get a break. I don't know. I don't know maybe somebody knows how that works with them, but I'm almost positive they're paying for those tables. Yeah, some of the characters that they feel aren't really bankable. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, they branch out this year. We had Billy D. Williams was there, which is obviously a huge name. I kind of felt bad.
So back to Vegas. Who did you get? Who did you personally see and get an autograph from?
So I did cough up big money.
You did get Billy D, right?
I got a photo op with Billy D because, as you guys know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and he's the only original trilogy Star Wars actor I've ever been able to meet. So I wasn't going to let it slip. He's very frail and old. I mean, he had to sit on a stool for the photo ops, but apparently, according to people that go to like a lot of the vendors, Star Wars conventions, you're paying big money for their autographs. Like Hamill's like $400. Billy D wanted $300. He had $350 for a photo op. And unfortunately, it showed because you're at a Star Trek convention charging way more than the top Star Trek stars are charging. There was just nobody on his line to get autographs. It was really kind of sad. But I mean, yeah, I know. So that's I didn't even get the autograph. I couldn't. It was I couldn't put the money.
You just couldn't justify it. Yeah,
it just couldn't justify. The photo was fine. I would have liked to have just been able, but it is what it is. So he was probably the biggest name. The next biggest name, if we're going down, was a last-minute ad, which was Scott Bakula. Now, again, member, Enterprise fan. That was a definite photo and an autograph situation. I did get to talk briefly with him when he signed my picture because we got a picture. You know, I got him sign the
Did
photo.
he seem okay? Did he seem like he was doing all right?
He seemed like a really. I had just sat through his on stage. He came right after Shatner. He said, he's like, you know, the one rule in Hollywood they always say is you never follow William Shatner. That's pretty funny, and you know, but he was yeah. Scott he seemed like a very down to earth, very nice man. He was very nice to the fans. One guy was telling us doing questions, and that his mother was sick in the hospital. She was dying of cancer, and she loved Scott. Blah, blah, blah. So he basically had the guy take out his phone and he recorded a personal message for this guy's mother right then and there, which I thought was really nice. You could tell he had to take a few seconds to kind of compose himself because I think he got welled up, you know, doing it. And another guy, now I don't know who, I got to look it up. Who's Scott's wife? Because apparently she was in.
Let me Google.
She was in the 1980s version of He-Man, the movie. I want to say it must have been one of the. Anyway, one of the guys came up. He's like, "How do I get an autograph from your wife?" And Scott's like, "Well, she's not here. Do you want me to sign it in her name?" You know. So basically, he ended up. What's that?
Yeah, you're right. He is married to someone named Chelsea Fields. She started as a solid gold dancer. If you guys are old enough to remember that show,
I remember that.
And she did play Teela in the 1987 Masters of the Universe.
So he basically he's like, "Do you have something for her to sign?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." So he basically said, "Write your name and address on the back of the photo and give it to me." And he was going to take it home and have her sign it. I assume mail it back to him. So those are little things he did. He had a great talk. He did insinuate that because next year was the 60th anniversary of Star Trek and the 25th of Enterprise, that he might come back. Now, you have to remember, Scott hadn't done any convention since 2016. The last one he did was Star Trek Las Vegas in 2016. That was the last time
he goes a long. He doesn't normally do them. He goes long stretches without.
Which is why there was a no-brainer for the photo op and the autograph. So, I had some, you know, I did tell him, you know, how much I liked Enterprise and that I talked to Yokudas and Drexler and, you know, about what they're trying to do. And I, you know, thought they were really, you know, and I could tell, he even said to me, he's like, he looked up at me, he said, "I really appreciate that." Like I think he connected what I was trying to say, that, you know, that with all the Star Treks that are out there, that the fact that I felt his was real good, I think he really, you know, he felt honored by that. And he kind of put out, he's like, "Thank you very much." And then signed it, you know, Scott Bakula. And I think that's what he was referring to, is because we had that little tiny connection there. So anyway, that was Scott. And then the next Simon Pegg, I was there as well. Of course, he was Scotty.
Simon Cornetto Trilogy Pegg.
I don't care about that. What I cared about was Shaun of the Dead. Got red.
Never mind Scotty.
Yeah, so I got a photo op with him. I guess I cared about
World's End and the other one. I can't remember the other
one. So Hot Fuzz. So I did get the photo op with him, and then when I got the autograph signed, you know, they'll do the personalization. And I said to the handler, I said, "Can he put to the Winchester on it?" And he's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh yeah." So
and then was
to the Winchester.
To the Winchester. Was Alan Tudyk at this event?
Alan Tudyk was there. I did sit on a little bit of
you had already seen him in Montreal.
I didn't go get the autograph. They had like half of the cast of Resident Alien. Him, I'm bad with the actress's name. So there was basically three women. It was it was
Alice, whose name I can't think of her last name. Sarah Tomko,
Native American woman, and the mayor's wife.
And I can't think of her
names. Those and Alan were there, and they were on stage, and it was fine. I got to meet Alan almost a little over a year ago at Montreal Comic-Con, so I already got the photo op and the autograph from him there, so I certainly didn't need it again. And I would have done the same thing as bring my little dinosaurs, and we shall call it this land, and you know, curse your inevitable betrayal. Anyway, so if you get to see Alan's, he's so talented in everything he does.
Yeah,
I love Alan. So that was but I did not bother, because I already had it, so there's no reason to get it again. But that was another example. He has no connection to Star Trek. Star Wars, of course,
which is it's cool. I like the STLV branch.
Yeah, it made it.
To me, it makes it so much more exciting.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, because trying to think of who else. Let's see. I did get a photo op with Jeffrey Combs, who's just like awesome because he's like everything, but he's always Shram to me. That's my favorite, of course. I do have an autograph of him as Shram from last year, so I didn't need to get that one, but I get the photo op this year. Rebecca Romaine, just because not because she's on Stranger World, just because she's Rebecca Romaine.
She's Mystique.
And she's Mystique, and she's 52, and she still looks damn good.
And she's gorgeous. And I saw you with her husband.
Right.
I saw you with her
husband. So the funnest part of that was while you're on the queue, and I don't know if you guys ever done any. Most of these Comic Cons, it's exactly the same. The actor, the photographer are behind a curtain, so you don't really see them while you're in the queue. And so we're all in the queue waiting to go get our photo with Rebecca, and out comes Jerry O'Connell from around the curtain, and he's shaking people's hands, and he's, we're all, and he's like, it's all part of the Rebecca Romaine experience. He keeps saying, of course, somebody pulls out the phone, and then we all start getting selfies. And then, we're all getting screamed at by the staff because we're not supposed to have our phones out. Although I don't really get it. What's the point if you have your phone out?
Because we don't want free. They want you to pay for the picture. We have the same policy.
No, I get it, but the thing is, he wasn't on the docket at all.
Yeah, he wasn't official.
He wasn't on the docket at all. So, and he can do whatever the hell he wants. He's a free agent. So, you know what I'm saying? So he was the one offering up. It wasn't like people were bugging him. He was like, no, I shouldn't. He was the one grabbing people's phones. Click, 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 And I was like two people before he was going to get to me, the woman started freaking out and yelling at everybody, put the phones away. And then I was about to make the corner for the curtain where I would have not been able to. He's like, I look at him, I'm like, and he goes, yeah. And he grabs my phone and, he does it, he does it quick. And that's the picture that's on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And awesome. So that was really cool. Cause you guys know he's on Lower Decks. He was.
Yes, of course we know he's on Lower Decks.
What's his name? But everybody kept saying, we love sliders. We love sliders. And he goes, you guys are way too young for that. No, we're not.
And so are you, sir. You're way too young to be on that show.
Yeah, I mean, he still looks. I have to give the guy credit. He's got to be at least.
He looks amazing, yeah.
And he looks half my age. So yeah, screw you.
Yeah, him and Paul Rudd. What the hell? So now you've been to STLV a couple times. You've been to the bigger shows up in event. Of course, you've been to 1 million Trekonderogas. In your opinion, what do you like better? Do you like the big events with lots of names and stuff going on, but everything's kind of expensive and there's long lines? Or do you like our event, less celebrities, but way more personal, way more
really
intimate?
Hard to say because I have so many friends at Trekonderoga that really
don't count us. Just count it as like value for your dollar. If you had to choose between STLV and Trekonderoga.
Well, I never pay for STLV because I always get some vendor pass.
You never pay for Trekonderoga either, but that's not what I'm asking.
Oh God, it's you can't. It's
We're the wrong people to be asking.
I mean, I love them. I love them both. I like Star Trek Las Vegas is a lot of fun because there's so much stuff and you get to see so many people and there's so much amazing cosplay. I mean, that's one thing we don't really get at Trekonderoga. We get people dressed up and some of them are really neat, but you get people that are just.
I know. I saw pictures.
Okay, he doesn't watch our show. James got dressed up as a Kardashian.
A Kardashian. There's pictures of him on Facebook, you guys.
Kardashian, and it was professional level.
He looks good.
You wouldn't recognize him. Yeah, you wouldn't recognize him. So you get people like that. There was a couple guys running around in Starfleet spacesuits, like from First Contact. Remember when they went out on the dish and they were let the dish go and the board were. Two guys in those outfits, blinky lights, the whole 9 yards. Just, there was a guy dressed up as Pike. He had his hair overdone to be comical. And he's got an apron on. He's walking around with a tray of weird food that he would serve you. Again, I was laughing because we always joke about how he's always cooking in his Benihana quarters.
In his massive quarters with a fireplace.
Yeah, so, clearly the guy was playing off on that joke. So you get a lot of that. It's just so many different people. So it's hard to say, and you do have this opportunity. I do tell people, this Las Vegas is the only con that I'm aware of. If you really want to see a bang for your buck of talent, of actors, that's the place to go. I mean, the entire TNG crew is in one line. You can go from one to the other. Boom, 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 right down the line. and get autographs with every single one of them.
But if you
That kind of
actually
thing.
want to spend at least 2 hours of quality time with your celebrity, Trekonderoga.
Yeah, absolutely. It's different. I mean, I always tell people, if you want to meet Bill Shatner, you go.
Trekonderoga.
There's no question about it. I mean, I won't even. I tell people, I'm like, look, it's a lot of money, but then when I start explaining what you get and how much access you get to them, they're all like, well, that's really not that much. I mean, when you think about it, it's, you know, what I'm saying, it's like worth it. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, you know, Vegas. He stormed off the stage in Vegas, basically.
What? I heard that. Wait, tell me the story.
He had a little fit, and I don't want to talk
because somebody.
Yeah, I mean, you know how he gets if he gets interrupted, and he got, you know, I
Yeah.
think he was just angry and he didn't understand the situation that was going on. There was some kind of security issue going on, and one of the people was running back and forth. I don't know. I was in the back of the room. I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. But he got very angry at this person who kept running back and forth, apparently interrupting him, and he kind of just finished his thought. He told them how rude they were, finished his thought of what he was talking about, and basically dropped the mic and not dropped it, put it down, said thank you, and walked off 10 minutes early. So that's Bill.
That's Bill.
He's 94. He can do it.
He's 94. He's entitled. We're gonna let him. We're gonna give him a pass.
People were just confused because at first they weren't. Is he kidding? No, he's gone.
No, he's gone. He's moved on.
And then Scott came on after that. So I think.
No.
So yeah. But like I said, so yeah, Bill's probably in a better mood in Trekonderoga than he is in Las Vegas. So, but, you know, you get to this huge vendor hall, obviously, and the cool thing with the vendor hall is mixed with the autograph, a lot of autograph people. So you can
So when you're shopping around, there's people doing autographs.
So if there's the thing with Vegas is if it's annoying, I don't like the way they do their big name autographs. So like for Simon, for Scott. You have to get on this line in the main hall. They do it where the talks are going on, and they have to break it up because the gold people have to go first, and the captain's chair people, then the copper level.
That's a creation thing.
They do this thing and where you get this priority, but it takes forever. And the problem is if you're general admission and you're waiting to get to this to see this to get an autograph, there's no like, okay, general admission is going to start at 1:30. No, we're going to start autographs at 1:30, and we're going to get through all these gold people. And it doesn't just because they're gold doesn't mean they're getting an autograph.
Yeah.
So you don't know. There could be 10 gold people. There could be 100 gold people.
100 gold people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's creation.
And it's you have to wait, and you have to sit in the room, because if you wait and say, I'll go in an hour and a half when they cut through all these other people, they may have gotten through the line really fast, and the person's like, okay, no more autographs. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because those you have to buy in advance.
Because they do the exact same thing at supernatural events.
Yeah, they buy and they sell those in advance. You have to go with a ticket. You can't go just and pay cash.
Yes.
Whereas all the ones in the vendor room are pretty much like ours. You walk up with cash. A lot of them are taking Venmo now. A lot of them are taking Venmo now. So yeah, it's kind of annoying. That's why I didn't. But Scott, and luckily with Scott, because you should have seen his photo line. Holy crap, he made Shatner look like a short line. I mean, that line was long, and they get through it. They go through it very fast. I mean, so I never worry about a long photo line. It goes once it starts. But the autograph line was going to be ugly, and I knew it. And then Shannon, our Shannon that does the tailoring there and the stuff. I was helping her, and she's like, I heard a rumor that the creation's going to let vendors go after gold tickets. So I guess I don't know why, but so I'm like, okay, cool. I got my photo done because it was like all within the same 2 hours. Got my photo done, ran, got into the hall. I could see there was lines. I didn't know which side he was on. They do two sides. I talked to the woman that's clearly was working the line. And I said, hey, and they're always very nice. Usually, unless you're being a jerk, the staff is always nice. I said, I heard this rumor that vendors were able to go out for Scott after. She's like, well, I don't know. And she texted somebody, and then she's like, he's over there. And she's like, and then like a minute later, she got a text back. She's like, go now.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I shot over there, and I'm texting Shannon as I'm trying to run over.
As you're running, yeah.
Come now. So I was lucky when I got online. There was only like 15 people ahead of me. But apparently, I had
That's
heard
crazy.
that they literally closed the line, like they didn't. He ran out of time.
Oh
So
my God.
I don't know. Somebody else said that. Oh, he did. He came back and did like a short signing in one of the other rooms to pick up the people that. I don't know if that actually happened or not, but yeah, he was that popular. So I was lucky.
Wow. Armin was
to
probably.
get
Yeah,
everything.
we're a little bit looser that way. I mean, we do let admirals go first at Bill's events, but for Trekonderoga, there's no
Yeah,
priority.
well,
It's just
we
line up.
don't have a tier system, do we? If I check on
Not
no, it's
Trekonderoga.
general. It's all general admission.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
all
much.
general admission.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. It's honestly though, I would not buy. I did buy the first time I went to Star Trek. I did buy the top package, and it ain't worth it, in my opinion. It's at the time it was close to $1,000. It's probably over $1,000 now. I mean, you get a dinner and a show, and you get this long list of autograph people, and half of them you probably don't want, and you got to stand on that stupid line to get it anyway, and you do it anyway because you feel like you're throwing away your money if you don't get the autograph, even though it's not somebody you really wanted, and you get an assigned seat in the main hall, like up near the front. That's really all you're getting.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it
what gold
personally,
is.
but other people do. I mean, I've seen people with vendor badges and gold, like both. Like they, so I.
Because
But
it's
the
like a
vendor
side
badge
seat.
gets you in
You pick
everything
your
anyway.
seat,
So
and then you get that same seat all weekend long. It's like
right,
that's your seat.
and then you can even they even allow you to book it for next year, so you can get the same.
And they allow
seat.
you to book
So
it
I'm
for
sure
next year. Yeah.
people that get that front center probably keep that like a season pass to the Yankees or Red Sox or something.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So,
it's a
yeah,
good event.
honestly,
There's a lot of cool stuff. Like Factory Entertainment had all their stuff there. A lot of their stuff, they revealed some new
they
products.
get way better vendors. Yeah, they get great
Yeah,
vendors.
so that was kind of cool. The Tommy guys were there with the D7, which is really cool. I hope that gets funded because I really want one to go with my 1701 that they did. So yeah, there's some. The Trexperts, of course, have their table there. Star Trek wines, fan sets. If you're into the pins, they have a whole setup of all the pins that are available.
Yeah, Jeff, it is down to a science.
I mean, the Live on the Lost couple, the brother and sister, they're always there, and I can't think of their names, so I'm sure somebody will pop into the chat with it. They're there every time. I got a really funny picture with them in the Slee Stack, and we're all screaming.
Yeah, David Gerald got a great picture with them.
David Gerald, they did a panel with David Gerald.
Oh, did they really?
David Gerald wrote a bunch of those episodes, so that will be on the Trexperts. So that's one cool thing with the Trexperts stage is all those talks will eventually be a podcast for them.
Good.
And you might even hear somebody. You might hear somebody on one of them that you recognize.
Tell us about that, Rizzo. How'd that happen? Who could it be? And how did it happen?
So there was supposed to be a talk called "Building the Enterprise." James was supposed to go. He was supposed to be there as the guest to talk about it. He had a family emergency. He couldn't go. It was very last minute. And Darren was kind of not freaking out, but like, geez, what are we going to do? He was we don't have anybody to fill in. And I just kind of joked, you want me to do it? And he's like, yes, okay. And I'm thinking, okay, well, we still weren't 100% sure that whether James was going to make it at that point. And I think, that was Thursday morning. It was the talk. And I think that morning, about 4:30 in the morning, my phone goes off and it's Darren going, be behind stage at 10 of 11. Okay. So I didn't know where behind stage was. I knew where the stage was, but I didn't know how do you get to behind stage. So they had quite the professional operation going on. I must say they had a lot of crew, volunteers.
Yes, they had a bunch. Yeah.
Really shuttling people back and forth, making sure they had a huge, recording it all. So I went to their table and I talked to his brother, Darren's brother, and I said, I'm supposed to do this thing at 11 o'clock for the Trexperts, and they're like, oh, come back at 10:30 and we'll take you over there. I said, okay. So I went back at 10:30 and they escorted me behind stage into the green room. Like I was like a really and they'd, well, okay, relax and have some of this water and snacks. And So I took a bottle of water just with me, and then of course they take me backstage, and who's backstage is Mike and Denise Okuda along with other people. And so Denise, they were going to add them to this talk because originally I thought like they would get Brian Mix, who was also there and also related to, part of the tour, and he had done a lot of props and stuff. But Brian was doing his own thing with them. He edits their video and stuff like that. So anyway, Denise comes up to me because she's such a sweetheart. And she's like, "We're not going to rain on your parade or anything or take your thunder away if we're on there." And I'm like, "No, of course not."
No.
So
we
went on.
Parade, I had no thunder. I literally just found out about this.
Yeah, we went on. So I was on stage with the Okudas and Darren talking about Star Trek Set Tour. And whatever and again, telling them stories. I have the George Takei story, which cracks people up. And I got a big laugh on that one. So so listen to the podcast, which probably won't come out for another year because they seem to take forever before they get around to it.
They got to
but so I had to fill in. I'm no James Cawley. I don't have the pompadour. I don't look like Vegas. I don't. So Vegas, I don't look like Elvis.
Well, congratulations.
Anyway, it was fun. And then the funniest part of the whole thing is after it's all over, I leave. I go back to Mark's table where we're selling junk. And a guy immediately, within 5 minutes, goes up and he says, "You were just on stage." And I said, "Yeah, I was." And he's like, "Can I have your autograph and a selfie?" And I'm like, "Are you something?" Like, he's got to be kidding, right? No, he was not kidding. So I signed his program, and we took the selfie with his phone, and nobody else asked.
Congratulations, you are famous now.
Yeah. So, but
and then no one came to Trekonderoga to your round table and said,
"No, there was people. We had people." The problem is, I was right. Trekonderoga, I was on right after Kate, so the thing was full. And I said, "Watch." I said to Bruce, I said, "Watch this. As soon as she's done, this is going to empty out like a toilet." And sure enough, whoosh!
Everybody gone.
There's like 15 people left sitting there, so maybe more. I don't know, but it was fine. I don't care. I don't expect a big crowd. So. So the cool thing, I did get a photo op with Sam Jones and Melanie Anderson wearing my Flash T-shirt, and I had them sign my album cover from the original. That was cool. So that's pretty much it.
Jeff says, "Don't let it go to your head."
No, believe me, I am not.
And Chris LaRoche says, "A Star Is Born."
Yeah, Star Is Born. Not. I don't think Darren will put me on again. No. No. I asked him. I did see him in the hallway later next day or something. I said, "So how bad was it?" And he's like, "No, it was excellent. It was great. You did great." I'm like, "Okay." And
this is the same. But this is the same guy who just turned on at Trekonderoga when he couldn't get his laptop to play with our projector. He was like, "Yeah,
right.
Really,
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. Yeah, I had nothing else to say. Yeah, I know. Darren, he did. I got him going on marshmallows. Somehow, I don't even know how marshmallows came up.
Marshmallows, all right.
From Star Trek 5, the marshmallows, roasting marshmallows. And of course, he started going on telling the whole story how marshmallows came to be and all that. So
yeah. Well, all right,
anyway,
kids. It is just about 8 o'clock.
I have no idea what we're gonna do next week. What's Roy doing?
I don't know. I don't know. We're all of us are sort of slowly getting back into our.
Roy was there. Roy was, of course.
I didn't even get to talk to Phil about what he's doing this week either. I'm behind. I'm just behind. I feel like I was gone for months. Any requests
besides? Don't say hi.
Yeah. Do you guys have requests?
Don't say it because I'm not going to.
It'll be for the last day of August, and then we are into September and the fall. So.
What do you got? No, nobody's got any ideas.
No one's. They're still typing. They're still typing.
Dun, 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 dun.
So yeah, I don't know what Phil's doing. I don't know what Roy's doing. We're all kind of get back into our normal groove. It's kind of oddly hard, but yeah, guys. All in all, Trekonderoga, it was one of the smoothest events we've ever had. No significant hangups or glitches or problems. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to each and every one of you who were there and who helped helped us put it on for the good customers.
So we did the Highlander a while back.
Yeah, we already did it. We did the Highlander too.
Yeah, not the series, but I'd have to go back and watch TV shows, TV series. Unless I've seen them recently, are really hard to do because
TV series are hard for us to cover because we can't go back and
especially if
rewatch
they
the
have
whole
like
thing.
20 seasons, and it's like trying to do. How did your talk with about Supernatural go? You didn't even talk about that. You like breezed.
It was fun.
Okay,
It was just me
fine.
and Alex.
We're not
It was just me and Alex riffing, and we didn't have anything like formally prepared. So
Did
we
you
were just
have a
riffing
good
about
crowd?
the show, and there's some folks in the crowd that had seen it, so they were riffing with us, and which was not unlike my tour. I was like, guys, I'm not normally a tour guide, so if you've already had the tour before and you remember something that I forget, go ahead and speak up. And there was like one girl who did, but yeah, it was. Chris says he had a ball.
How many people did you have?
About half full, I would think. I had
Of
Roy and I had Tracy and Henry, and I had the Lafredo clan.
Half full of the music room or half full of the auditorium? Okay.
Half full of the music room. Okay. Half full of the air conditioning because I wasn't going to go.
Yeah, I wish I had the air conditioning room. So look, wait, we got some. Oh. So we got. Well, I got to go back now.
Chris, Ice Pirates, I think we already did.
Oh, Earth Virus. Oh, you mean
Alien Earth just started. We got to watch that. Chris says Earth Girls are easy with the Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis movie, which I love.
Ice Pirates, we've done. Alien Earth.
Resident Alien. Yeah, you know what? Soon now that Resident Alien's over, we could do Resident Alien.
Yeah, we could. Alien Earth. That's a series, isn't it?
That's a series that just started, so we're gonna give it a chance before we do it.
Oh, is that the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was an older show.
No, it's just started.
Okay, I had a ball. I'm sure you did, Chris. We all did. Well, we'll come up with some. Maybe Resident Alien's a good one to do because it's fresh.
Because it's fresh in our minds. Hardware Wars we should do. Yeah, Jeff Rubel, we did Buckaroo, and we did it, I think, with the Okudas, who are huge Buckaroo Banzai fans.
Oh, you got to scroll down now. Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai we did with the Okudas. Yep.
Oh, Alex, you're actually okay wandering in at the end of we're ending now, Alex.
It has been
Alex, why aren't you singing? You should be off singing right now. Don't you normally have chorus right now?
I don't know. Does he?
Usually.
So, all right. Well, we'll come up with these are some Hardware Wars. That was we should have done that when we did the Goofy.
We should have done that when we did the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. So we'll save Hardware Wars for next May.
Alex.
Beyond Antares, please stop.
He was singing that all weekend long. He would just start singing Beyond Antares, and we were just
like when we were,
and it was bugging
I don't know
Kent,
how,
so
but
he would do it on purpose to bug Kent.
Over the Trekonderoga, me and Darren and Brian, I think we were on like a Young Frankenstein kick. So we kept singing.
Oh yeah. Da, 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 were you doing this with the alien?
So we were kind of doing a lot of riffing on that.
And we were singing, and then we were singing from Rocky Horror that night at the house. We were singing. Rocky Horror.
Well, there's a light because somebody said there's a light, and anytime I hear somebody say there's a light, immediately goes and there's a light over at the Frankenstein. All right, and October's coming, so we got to start thinking about our.
Yes, October's coming, so we got to plan our 4 weeks of Halloween.
Yes,
and the only month of the year, guys. Those of you who watch, the only month of the year that we actually plan out.
Yeah, Roy would like to do another crossover. I don't know if we'll go over there or if he'll come over.
I love to do crossovers. I like to get in costume and.
Well, we'll do the Halloween one. That's like tradition. I know that Halloween is on a Friday this year.
So we can party. Woo!
Yeah, so I don't know if we want to do a show on that day because I know James might do something at the set.
James might do something in the studio, yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time last year, I think. Yeah, because we were all getting in costume and playing with trying to get into character in this mirror universe thing.
That's right. We did do mirror universe last year. That's right.
So anyway, we'll come up with something. I always come up with something.
All right. Oh, Chris says any Jerry Anderson series. Yeah, we already did UFO.
Not a bad idea. We haven't really done UFO. Of course, if we do Space 1999, you gotta have Roy.
We did UFO.
I don't. No, we can't
do Space 1999. Roy would take
UFO. We didn't do UFO as a standalone show. I think we did it. It was part of another show where we were talking about shows that probably could be remade.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was part of
maybe.
that. Yeah, it's
Maybe.
Monster Squad. That's
That's animated, right? Monster Squad?
that was a movie, I think, wasn't it? So anyway,
All right.
yeah, we'll come up with something. But keep the ideas coming.
Yeah, keep the ideas coming. We
It does help.
helps.
All right. On that note, I think we'll say goodnight. And as usual, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you always. Good night.